Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another stop motion. This time, it is not sprint cars, it is not NASCAR. We got something a little different on the lineup today. We have the NHRA drag racing funny cars for the first ever stop motion York Nationals. We got 8 drivers on the lineup, not as many because I don't have that many funny car drivers that are different. And this is a Christmas tree right here if you don't know drag racing. This is the starting light signal for the drivers, so once that green light comes on, you go. Just don't go too early. And let's meet a couple of our drivers here. First up, we have John Force, the legend himself, a 16-time NHRA champion, driving the peak Chevy Camaro funny car here today. He's looking for another win of his many to take another trophy home. Let's see if it can happen. And up next, we got Austin Prock. Mainly, he was in Top Fuels, but he filled in for Robert Height for a little bit. So, we'll see how he does here. He set the fastest time ever in a funny car. So, we'll see how this goes here. And then we got Robert Height, another John Force Racing driver. A very talented one at that. So, it'll be interesting to see how he does here today. Now, of course, we got to have our ladder for eliminations. Here it is. We have 8 drivers, 4 races in round number 1. The first race will be Bob Tasker, the third up against Ashley Force. The second one will be Courtney Force against Jack Beckman. The third one will be John Force up against Austin Prock. And the final one will be Ron Capps versus Robert Height. The winners of each race will go to the semifinals, and the winners of those races will go to the finals. And then the winner of that one basically wins it all. Let's head up to the starting line and meet our first matchup of the day. So we got Ashley Force in the left lane, and then we got Bob Taska, the third, in the right lane. Taska has gone 341.68 miles an hour before. He's got a fast Ford Mustang. Let's see how he does against Force. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley Force smokes the tires and basically gift wraps one to Bob Taska the third as he flies down the straightaway to move on to the semifinals. Now let's back up to the starting line to meet matchup number 2. All right, here's matchup number 2. Jack Beckman in the left lane and Courtney Force in the right lane. 2 teammates going against each other, so you know that's going to be interesting. And we are just going to move things right along. Let's take the Christmas tree and light it up. Well, that was a pretty entertaining 3-second race, if I do say so myself. Courtney Force stays on top, though, barely over Jack Beckman. Wow, what a race. Force is on to round number 2 and will face Bob Taska. Now back to the start line to meet matchup 3. All right, here's the third matchup of round number 1. John Force in the left lane and Austin Prock in the right lane. Well, this ought to get interesting. Let's see if John Force can take down Austin Prock. Let's light up that tree and let's go racing. Well, there you have it, folks. Austin Prock smoked the tires at the beginning, and that basically just gift-wrapped one to John Force. He did get it back, though, and did try to put up a good fight to come back, but Force was too quick. Let's move on to the final matchup of round 1. Here it is, the final matchup of round number 1. Robert Height in the left lane and Ron Capps in the right lane. This is a pretty good matchup. The only Dodge Mopar car in the field versus another John Force Racing driver. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and a red light for Robert Height, and that gives one to Ron Capps. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a costly mistake from Robert Height gift wraps Ron Capps the W, and he will advance to round number 2. That's what I meant by don't go too early, because that red light will get you every time. Tough break for Robert Height. And here we are. The semifinals are ready, and they are set. So for race number 1, we will have Courtney Force up against Bob Taska the third. And then in the second race, we will have John Force up against Ron Capps. This is setting the stage for a great finale. Let's see how this goes here. Up first in the staging lanes are Bob Taska III and Courtney Force. Let's move things right along here, and let's head up to the starting line. This is going to be quite an interesting matchup here. Bob Tasca, the third in the left lane, and Courtney Force in the right lane. Will Bob Tasca take down one of the only remaining John Force Racing drivers, or will Force take the W and punch her ticket to the finals? Well, we're going to find our answer in about 3.5 seconds. Light it up, fellas. Wow, what a turn of events. Bob Tasca had the lead, but smoked his tires about halfway through, and that gave Courtney Force the win, and Force punches her ticket to the finals. Now we gotta find out, will she face her dad, or will it be Ron Capps? Let's find out. Well, this is it, the race that will decide who Courtney Force will face off against in the finals. John Force in the left lane, and Ron Capps in the right. Will John Force take the win, or will Ron Capps be able to pull off an upset? We'll find out at the finish line in about 3.4 seconds. Well, there it is. The cars don't lie. Ron Capps pulls off an upset and takes down the legendary John Force and will face off against Courtney Force in the finals. Now, I already know this is going to be an interesting final race to see who will be the champion of the first ever York Nationals. This is it, the grand finale. Ron Capps in the left lane up against Courtney Force in the right lane. This is the race that will decide the first ever York Nationals winner. Both drivers are insanely fast. Let's see how this goes. Take your picks in the comments. Will it be Ron Capps taking the win, or will it be Courtney Force? Let's light it up one more time! And that is what drag racing is all about. What a close race. Ron Capps barely beats out Courtney Force and takes the win in the first ever York Nationals. What an unbelievable performance by the Napa Auto Parts Dodge Mopar Charger. What a day we've had for NHRA. Now, this was a little bit of an experiment, so you guys will have to let me know if you want to see this again. I think it turned out really good, but if you guys want to see it again, let me know in the comments below, because I will gladly do it again. This was fun to make. Like I said, it's all up to you guys if you want to see it again. Maybe I'll actually have a drag racing track instead of whatever this was, but once again, like I said, it was an experiment, so you guys will have to let me know. Obviously, I'll have to see if I can get any more, race cars. Maybe I can throw in Top Fuels next time. Who knows? But that is going to do it for today's video and actually the year, because this is my last project of 2024. And boy, was it a blast to make. Oh, and one more thing before I head out. Starting next year, we will be starting a World of Outlaws community sprint car series. So far, at least me and CNR Network are actually confirmed to do a race. I will leave the information down below in the description if you guys want to go sign up for a race. Except for races 1 and 2, I am taking the first race at Port Royal, and then CNR Network is taking race number 2 at Clinton County. So any other race that is not confirmed, y'all are okay to sign up for. Just let me know in the comments which ones you want to take. I can't wait to see if we can make this project a thing. Once you make your race, you will have to tag me in the description of your video, and I will add it to the playlist of the season. Once again, go check it out. Thank y'all so much for watching, and see y'all in 2025. ChrisKraft signing out.